That's working? Hell yeah. All right, everybody. This is SANDCAST Beach Volleyball with the champs, Bourne and Trevor Crabb. Winners of the Manhattan Beach Open. Champs on the pier. Trev for a second time.
Second time, back-to-back.
Whiskey with the crabs.
Cheers for that. Cheers, boys.
A little Japanese whiskey with the crabs.
Mm-hmm.
Straight from Tokyo, right? Straight from Tokyo.
Out of the rainforest. I'm going Kona Seltz first, giving the sponsor some love. Try had this before you played Manhattan.
Exactly. So
I'm going to win Chicago now.
There you go.
I will not guarantee it, but hell of a weekend from you two. It was awesome to watch.
Thank you, brother. It was nuts.
How was it? Second time around. I mean,
second time around, I think it was just as sweet, just because it was his first time winning. So when you get to experience, it's almost like I got to experience that again, having your partner win it for the first time. So it kind of felt like the first time. Plus, it was ours as a team. Our first one as a team. So it still felt like something new.
Yeah. Didn't feel right last time. Let's be honest. He just didn't feel right, and he felt motivated to run it back.
Now I gotta get It's funny. Reid actually texted me after and congratulated me. And then he said I should play next year with my brother for the Triple Crown. So we'll have to do a little one-off with Bug and freaking.
That's a fair point.
Back with 3 different partners. I don't think it's ever been done.
I don't think so. I was looking at.
Has it ever been done with 2 different partners?
Yeah, Phil did it.
Oh, you've already checked.
Yeah, I've already checked. No, me and Rosie talked about it because Rosie did it, but his second one was when it wasn't.
It was like when it was big court, old school scoring, right?
Yeah, it wasn't, and it's not on BVB, so it doesn't really count.
Right. If it's not on BVB, did it really happen?
Aaron Wattfogel won it.
Yeah,
that's right.
2010, and then 2009 he won it with Jake.
All right.
So.
And who'd they play in that weird one? Like Dana Camacho in the finals?
Nobody good was playing in that.
But I remember, so last time we had you on the podcast, Trev, was after your last Manhattan win, I think. And so I went back through it, and you said you were like in Chicago with Casey. And you're like, I almost wish it didn't happen because like it's all downhill from here. Like, it doesn't get a whole lot better. And then you said, now we just got to rack them up, tally them up. But winning with like getting your second one, it looks like it was kind of the same.
Yeah.
Same high as it was the first time around.
Oh, for sure. I think I might have overstated that, but yeah, I think especially the Manhattan tournament, like. Just picturing myself winning that even in the future again, I think it's going to be just as sweet as well. No matter how many you have, just because it's so special to be able to do. There's just so much history behind it. But even our Porsche Cup in Long Beach last year, that was our first win together, and that felt just as good as well.
Yeah.
We've only won 2. And he guaranteed both of them.
Guaranteed them both.
That's some good foresight.
Why guarantee this one?
I was kind of thinking of doing that again, this year or sometime this year, and just wanted to see how Atlanta played out before I threw out the guarantee.
You can feel momentum sometimes. I thought it was a well-timed guarantee beforehand. I was like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
But I was also, when I heard it, I was like we're playing good.
Makes sense.
We played really well in Atlanta, but then just let teams back into it every time. So I was like, okay, if we just play the way we're playing, don't let them back in. It felt like it was gonna crack,
Yeah.
And then it did.
And that's definitely the one you'd want to guarantee, right?
Yeah, right.
And want to win more than anyone. So that just added special. Yeah.
It's also like a pretty baller thing to do that no one's ever done.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever even guaranteed a victory?
I don't think so.
Not in our sport.
Much less.
Much less backed it up twice.
And one of them's Manhattan.
That's insane. It's kind of crazy.
The new Hovland right here.
And especially, like, this one I feel like was almost not easier to guarantee, because obviously guaranteeing a win is a hard thing to do, but the Porsche Cup, like, Phil and Nick were looking as unbeatable as a team as you could get heading into the Porsche Cup.
Yeah.
You're like, guarantee it.
They were playing awesome, and then obviously we thought that they were going to be in this one too. I think I threw out the guarantee before Phil pulled out.
Yeah.
So that obviously it helps when it makes the tournament a little easier when Phil is not playing. Just standard, but yeah, I mean, obviously, I wish it would have been nice to go through them again. But hopefully, we just take it. We get to play them in Chicago and take them down in Chicago and win the tournament there.
Yeah, it's a cool thing about Chicago is like people are talking about Phil and Jake being on the way out and whatnot, but they both want Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Manhattan. Like Phil obviously mentally wasn't able to be in Manhattan, and if he showed up, he wouldn't have been himself. Atlanta, you could tell he wasn't himself because of what's going on behind the scenes. But these guys are both showing up and trying to go out on top.
Yeah.
Because you retire on top, that's pretty freaking baller.
Mm-hmm.
And it's our objective to not let them do that.
Yeah, exactly. We have that little chip on our shoulders from them beating us out on the Tokyo qualifying. So we get to prove them wrong.
It's time someone sends the old guys home. They've been around
Dude,
so long.
exactly.
Then you get Ricardo and Hayden.
Oh my God!
Average age of
Crazy.
73, making
They should have made the semis. They had, I think, 2016 freeze and let Andy and Billy come back, right? So yeah, it's pretty amazing that they're even at that level still at that age.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Hayden especially, because the last couple tournaments that I've played where Hayden's been in it, he's had to pull out after one match. He did it in Tennessee, his calf was acting up, and then in Atlantic City. Him and Bill, they lost their first round, and Bill he's done for the year because of his back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then Hayden, his calf was acting up, so they pulled out of Atlantic City, and I was like, I don't know if we'll see Hayden perform in AVP, and then he was standard Hayden again.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Away. I was looking at the stats list, and Ricardo got most of the serves.
Yeah.
People still don't want to go.
Still, people won't serve that guy.
Yeah. Nobody just wants to be sliced and diced apart.
Yeah.
By pure shots.
It's still an old man's game right now.
It is. That's kind of the beauty of it, though. Once you start putting your time in on beach volleyball, it's like, all right, no one's going to just step out here and start dominating. I mean, maybe, people are going to try. Taylor Sanders coming out now.
Yeah.
And he's a freak indoors. But it's kind of nice that indoor guys can't just be like, yeah, I'm going to go try that and be as big and dominant as they are, It's nice, all right, well, you got to learn the old man game first.
Yeah. Especially since Taylor's not huge. He's only, Taylor's what, 6'4"?
6'4",
6'5"?
He's about our height, maybe.
Okay.
I guess a little shorter, but yeah.
So it's not like it's a Terran
But he jumps
coming out.
12 inches higher than both of us.
Right.
Right, yeah, true. But I don't know. We'll see.
Dude, it was, speaking of jumping out, it was really fun watching your semifinal with Mikkel. And every time you get a ball, he goes, that was a 45-inch vertical right there.
Yeah. He's like, bro, you're so high. Nipples above the net. He's like, yeah, I mean, nose, maybe. But if I'm lucky, but
I was loving
he's
it.
my ultimate hype man.
Yeah, he was
Especially when
great.
He slapped me in the face and during the celebration.
He gave me a side check pretty hard. I felt like a rib pop out.
Bro,
maybe.
my ribs are so bruised.
Oh my God.
He's got that football mentality. I forget, just shoulder, slap you in the face. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh man, that was wild.
And it looked like you were having trouble just staying on your feet at the end of that anyway. Getting a body check from
Oh
Mikkel.
my God, yeah.
But you sent him to the ground though.
No, but I didn't hit him that hard. I think he kind of wanted to fall on the ground. It seemed.
I was like, damn, Trev launched him.
I go to help him up, but he just bounces right back up and then comes at me and hits me. I'm like, holy shit! All right.
Holy shit.
Does stuff like that? Because you guys have such a fun team around you, from just getting Gabby and Vernie and Jose, you guys love Jose and all the passion that he has, and having Mikel in the box. I feel like winning it as a total team effort, and not saying that like you and Reid weren't a team, but you were just like kind of thrown together last second, figuring it out. I feel like that had to have made it such a more fun experience.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we have an awesome support staff with everyone, like how you were just saying, and just especially like even like Jose's daughters are always at our practice, helping us out every day, shagging balls, for like the last 2.5 years since we've been playing together,
Victor's
or
taking
3
hits.
years. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was nice to give them that win too, and let them celebrate that as well.
Yeah, we have a huge support staff now, and like I compare it back to like when I had Hayden, or when I was with Hayden, and I feel like even like the fan base like is more on our side. Like there's a lot more energy and people wanting us to make it happen and whatnot. Like with Hayden, it was like me, Gabby, Hayden, Robin, Mikel, and Evie. It was like we had a super tight group, but now it's like we have energy coming from everywhere. Like Jose's all his kids are at practice every day, and no, it was rad. I mean, the way I saw it last time was like Trevor just went up there alone and was just like, I'm gonna be the first of all of us Hawaiians to get on the pier. Suck it. I knew that's what he was actually thinking. He's like, first one on the pier. Sorry, bud. Now it's like, all right, now we can go together.
Yeah.
And it is cool. Like, I mean, 2 Hawaiians since Stein and Lambeau, probably. I don't think they got on the pier, or did they? I think they might have.
I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, a full
Together,
Hawaii team to like get
Yeah.
on the pier from the baby court, like that's pretty cool.
It's impressive. My older brother, who is now just like the biggest beach volley enthusiast in the world, he was like, so wait, he's from Hawaii? And he's from Hawaii? And he's from Hawaii too? And I was like, and you should see the indoor team.
Well, but the funny thing is, you can't even say Hawaii, because you can bring that all the way down to Outrigger.
To just a little map dot.
Isn't that crazy?
On a map dot.
Yeah.
Not Hawaii, just
Yeah.
He's from
Oahu.
Outrigger Canoe Club.
Yeah.
He's from Outrigger Canoe Club.
Yeah.
He's from Outrigger.
It's nuts.
It's crazy.
It's really cool.
Like, what do you call it? Per capita, it's like the richest volleyball. What do you call it? Place in the world.
Yeah. And it's not even close either.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Like people would probably assume Southern California, but most of the people in Southern California are transplants.
There's not
Right.
how
Exactly.
many Southern California pros do we have? Like top.
Not a ton. I mean, everyone lives here now, obviously, but
Who's from
native from here, there's not many. I mean, now that Taylor Sanders coming out, he's from Huntington, but
Okay, but he's not even on tour yet.
yeah, David Lee,
Casey Patterson.
he's from.
He's
The
from
Valley.
Oh yeah,
I think
okay.
he grew up in the
You're right.
Valley. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hayden.
Exactly. No, Hayden's from
He's from
San
Pensacola.
Diego. Actually, yeah. So he was born in Pensacola, then moved to like San Diego. or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
But not a lot. I mean,
Actually,
mostly
yeah.
transplants.
I forget Hayden's.
At least
Sorry.
Casey and I guess Chase are the only guys in like the top
Yeah,
5.
Chase is from San Diego.
Top 5 or 6 teams.
Yeah.
So 2 out of the top 12 players are from here.
Yeah. And it's crazy that so many of the top are now from Oahu, from Outrigger.
You look at like Brazil, right? Brazil. There's like not that many people are like just from Rio, right?
Right.
I think like Evandro and
Yeah, they're from all
Alvaro
over.
or something are from Rio, and then they're from all over the place.
Yeah. You mentioned that you had the crowd. It was fun having the crowd with you guys, and in the semifinals, like I was telling you guys earlier, when Schuerman was like, "Who's cheering for Chaim and Theo?" and it was kind of like polite golf clap, and then the place went nuts for you two. Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think that beach volleyball is just like latched onto you guys, especially since like you love being the villain?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think it's just that. Well, first of all, we put in our time, right? So like,
Yeah.
I think people have been able to grow with us a bit. Like even if early on when they're watching the sport, it was like, oh, Try's, just this high energy kid, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Getting in the face of all the big guys and they're beating him down, whatever. And Trevor's just running his mouth at all times.
Yeah.
They've kind of seen our progression and all the crap we've gone through and the highs and lows and whatnot. so they probably just, I feel like the fans have kind of grown with us in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I've heard from a lot of different people that, they were like the most exciting team to watch, which is pretty cool to hear. There's just because I feel like maybe it's just the split blocking, the option balls. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of boring teams out there. You hear that a lot in beach volleyball, but it's nice to be called one of the most exciting teams, and that's kind of what the sport needs is more excitement and to bring more viewers to the sport. So we're glad we can kind of hold that to ourselves and keep it going.
Yeah. And I think that kind of speaks just to the power of it. You guys have so much more than just volleyball going on. Like, obviously, your story is kind of insane.
Right.
But then you also bring this other kind of mindset where, like, you guys are talking the whole time and in such different ways.
Yeah.
Like, you were like, your vibes couldn't have been any more different. Like, you were like, White Mamba, like, so intense and just yapping the whole time. The Howling Mamba. And then, I mean, you've been kind of the best trash talker on the AVP for a while now. And people want to watch because you're bringing something more than just like a side out and a line shot or whatever. Like, now it's like, well, what's going to happen in between points?
Right.
What's he going to call Paul Ottman at this point?
Well, I think it's like being willing to, because I mean, early on in my career, I was very, like indoor guy. Be proper and all this crap. But like just being willing to put yourself out there more. I mean, even doing stuff like this, podcasting.
Yeah.
You learn how to just be comfortable and be yourself in front of crowds or on a microphone or whatever. That's kind of an art too that you have to learn on the court, and how to like engage the fans but not distract yourself. I think some people early on, they get all nuts, like, oh, I'm gotta make the fans love me and do all this weird stuff, and then fully distract themselves from like actually playing well.
Yeah.
And we've kind of gotten closer to mastering that skill of involving the crowd, being ourselves, but then also just absolutely being in the zone at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's just a veteran thing, I think.
Yeah. And I know that it felt like it used to kind of bug you that Casey Patterson would do that so well. He'd be dancing and he'd be getting wild cards from it, but I feel like he's mastered that art.
Too.
Yeah.
I was also like, this guy's getting all the fans to cheer for him. He's pissing me off. He's doing all this crap, and I for sure tried to steal a page out of his book. I don't think I'm going to be dancing anytime soon. Yeah. If I was good at dancing, maybe. I don't know. But no, I definitely like have noticed that and observed it. Like, okay, Casey's got something going on.
Yeah.
He keeps getting these freaking wild cards. Everyone wants to see him play, and he's getting wild cards. And yeah, so no, I've definitely learned from other people and seen Trev do it. I was like, all right, they're embracing that he's talking.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it in my own way.
Yeah.
For me, it's all like pick and choose. Who am I talking to? When am I talking to him? And I know I have Trevor, so like if they don't like talking shit, I'm like, Trevor.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's what I do.
Sick 'em.
Someone starts talking, I'm like, Trevor, he's talking shit.
Yeah.
He wants to play your game. Perfect. Him talking shit is not his game versus you're not talking shit, and I need you to be talking shit because you play better and he plays worse. Let's go.
Yeah, and then when I start talking shit, it like fuels the fire underneath Try a little bit.
Yeah.
To to boost his game, just his energy level.
Yeah.
So that's huge for us.
Yeah.
But then you get against some teams where it's like you're not going to get in their head. You're not going to get in our head. You're not getting in their head. It's just straight volley.
Yeah.
And that's like where you'll see a different dynamic come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we can talk all we want, but like we're all going to ball here.
Right.
We just need to figure it out.
Yeah. I remember Adrian when we had him on, because Adrian is obviously no stranger to trash talk.
Yeah, he likes talking.
And he was saying that the first like 5 times he played Hayden, he was like, I tried talking trash and I tried talking trash, and then I kept getting my ass kicked. And he was like, I had to stop because it was making me worse and making him better.
Exactly.
So you learn to pick your spots.
Yeah, I'd say that all the veterans, the Nick, Phil, Jake, Taylor, like you're not gonna like get in their heads and make them play worse.
Yeah.
You can do it, like he can do it to bring himself up.
Right.
But then below that, it's like sometimes you can play with emotions to help you.
Yeah. I'm curious in the semifinals, we were kind of talking about it earlier, but so you guys switched down 16-12, second set. Your Manhattan Beach Open is 5 points away from being over. And there was a discussion at mid-court.
Move.
And I was curious because it was like a full-on, like, you guys didn't just like cross under the net and say a couple of things. Like, it was a full-on, like, 4-player meeting.
Yeah. I was surprised.
And then
we kind of stayed on their side for a few seconds longer.
But they came under quick, and we're like, up talking, and I don't know. You can tell them. You can tell.
I mean, I forget exactly what was said, but it was just like, I don't know.
They basically got really confident. Like, we're up 16-12. We won the first, and we're always talking. So like, they're like, these guys deserve to hear it.
Yeah.
Which sure we do.
Yeah.
Right.
But they said it too soon.
And then I think I might have said something along the lines of, you guys are about to crack.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because of this or something, or it's coming, and then
exactly.
The next point is when the madness started.
Yeah.
Trevor said it like, you guys are gonna crack or something, and then I was reiterating, it's coming.
Yeah.
And then block, and then it was just block.
Yeah.
Whatever. So that was nice.
and that's and it was crazy to watch and I was watching with your father-in-law. And he's like, what do you do here? I'm like, it looks like Tri's got it figured out. I was like, I don't really know what you call, because like after the first time you block someone, you might have a kind of a feel for what their tendency is on the second time. But then after that, like after the third time, you really have no idea what the guy's about to do. Like no one knows what the troubleshooting pattern after ball 3 is.
Yeah, I mean, it's more, I think it's just being confident in your call.
Yeah.
So like, now I'm making calls, I'm like, yeah, that's the right call.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the fuck I put in my hands.
Right.
But I'm confident in it, which makes me on the attack. And then as a hitter, you're like, okay, you're overthinking it, and you're now kind of on the defense, as weird as it is, because you have the ball in your possession. But that's kind of what happened, was just like, now I'm really confident in my calls, and it was all ball 1, like simple.
Right.
1 and 2s, but Trevor knew I was green light to
just grabbing it.
Yeah, like you were taking the shot.
Yeah, I was pretty much taking shot, and he was taking swing.
Yeah.
For those 7 points in a row. Yeah.
It's a pretty epic run.
Yeah.
Good time for a 7-0 run.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's just one of those moments.
And then the good thing is we just, obviously the momentum game, we carried that on to the third set, and just, actually I think they started up 4-, like, I think they started up maybe 4-1 in the first set, in the third set. And then that's when we kind of tapped into it again and went on another run in the third set. So
I think that's why I was so intense, because I felt that click in the semi, and I was like, okay, now I got to bring it to the third set.
Yeah.
And then I did it. And I was like, okay, now I got to maintain it
right
into the final. Okay, I have it. First set. Okay. Second set. Like, I'm not losing it, That's why I was just like, so it's like, I just got to stay here.
Yeah.
For a little longer.
Just hang on.
Don't leave. Yeah. Oh, man.
Because I think that's one of the toughest things is you win the second set, but you didn't win the match yet.
Right.
What was the discussion like in the box? Like, all right, we have all this momentum. How do we keep this going?
I like that there wasn't any like celebration of it.
Yeah.
Because Atlanta, we let people back in.
Mm-hmm.
Third set. So like all our practice the whole week before was, when we get to that moment, we got to push through it. We can't, so there was no like that ease of like, oh, we have a lead.
Or, and in our losses in Atlanta, in those 2 matches where we went to 3, it was like neck and neck in the third set till about like 8-all, and then we kind of shit the bed in those last few points, and that was like, we kind of turned that, flipped it around, and I think it was like 8-all or 9-all against Chaim and Theo, and we scored like another 4 in a row from then on.
Yeah.
So once you get that, then you feel pretty confident in closing out the match.
Yeah. And then at that point, you still have one more to go, and this is now your third match of the day in Manhattan Beach sand, and that's a lot of adrenaline that your body's dealing with.
I went all in. I was like,
man.
I don't know if my body's going to keep doing this, but I'm going until I drop. And actually, like, I felt like I had my legs till the end.
Yeah.
Which was kind of surprising, but
Yeah, and it looked like you had some legs left. It looked like you were running on.
Yeah, towards that, I think
Last couple
towards the second set, the end of the second set, I started to feel it a little bit more. Just like legs feeling it and back getting a little tight, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we knew that like we did not want to go to 3 in that third set. And
Yeah.
we were gonna do anything we could to close that out. Yeah, and we did.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's crazy is, so I had I went to 2 Manhattan finals, lost to Phil and Nick, and then Casey and Jake, and I had match point. I've talked about it many times. You know, it's haunted me for years.
I bet.
And Casey hit the low angle when we had a miscue, whatever. He hit a low angle from the north side of the pier. Trev comes back with Reid. Casey swings low angle and Trev stuffs it and gets on the pier. So now that's in my head for a whole year. Like, oh my God, I just had to just drop that right now. And then Trev actually did it from the same side,
Yeah,
too.
same side.
North side. And then again here, Trevor had a block for match
But
point.
we were on the north side.
We were on the north side.
We were on the
that
north
was the
side,
part
so
that was wrong.
It squeaked through.
But when Casey hit that ball, I was like, not again.
That was it.
Like, we needed to blow up a low seam to win Manhattan, and we didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then somehow we survived it. Casey's on that side, hits a low seam, and I fucking stuffed it. I was like, oh my God.
So basically,
That's crazy, though. Like, how many times...
Yeah.
There's a tendency there. If you're in the Manhattan final
low
against
seam,
Casey
match
and
point.
he's on the north side, dive low seam. That would have haunted me for so much long, like forever.
I bet. Did you think about that? I mean, I'm sure there was no space for you to think about the fact that this was now your third Manhattan final and that you had been 0 for 2 and that one of them was against Casey where the match had been in your hands at one point.
A little bit. I mean, I was aware of it, but it wasn't like there was no dialogue in my head about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was just trying to stay in that place that I found at the end of the semifinal.
Yeah.
So that's all that was going on. And it ended up coming off very intense. Like I was doing my YouTube thing with Frito, you know, before and just talking to the camera, and I was just like very intense. I was like, this isn't a joke. Like, oh, I'm being intense right now. But I don't care. Like, I need to win this shit. But yeah, I don't know.
Now, you blocked Casey. It's crazy. I was looking back and, like, the last 2 Manhattans have ended in almost the same way for Casey. Like, mirror image where you planted that hand in the seam 2 years ago, and then Try got it this time. I was like, man, Casey's going to have like a Trevor complex in the Manhattan final.
Well, at least he won. At least he has one.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But pretty awesome weekend for you guys. And now you get to do it again. You got one more event, I'm assuming. And then shutting it down to World Tour Finals up in the air.
Well, it doesn't look good for us. We need a wild card. So if the promoters got excited seeing us win Manhattan, maybe they throw us a bone. Maybe if we did a little more dance moves like Casey, we'd get in there. But yes, Chicago is the goal. I'm feeling pretty motivated for it. Like I don't feel like I need to linger too long on this win. Like we always have it. We can always enjoy looking back on it, but we don't need to linger on it too long.
Right.
Maybe this weekend.
Don't need to go to Shellbacks every day.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. But then after that, we have the big one. A lot of pressure. Myrtle Beach Open.
That is the big one. Trev won it last
I
year.
won it last year.
Yeah, he won Manhattan
I'm going
2019.
to defend my title.
Yeah, we got invited to go to the Myrtle Beach Open. That's the one I've been trying to get out to Myrtle for so many years. It's like a legendary volleyball spot. You know, hearing the A-Rob stories over the years. And so I'm finally going to go to a fun one.
Yeah.
And play with A-Rob, which I'm very nervous about. Olympics in Manhattan's nothing. Playing with A-Rob in his home tournament, I hear
playing with A-Rob in Myrtle.
Can't lose.
But if you win, you're golden.
Yeah.
Okay. It's basically like your partner calling a guarantee again.
Yeah.
If you lose, you lose hard.
Yeah.
If you win hard. But other than that, that's it, I think. I mean, we'll probably play in some fun stuff.
Fuds. I'll be defending my title at Fuds again.
I have a wedding.
You're not
during
defending
Fuds.
it anymore. We took it in the spring.
Whoa, I don't
sorry,
know
bud.
about that. I don't
Wait,
know
you're
about
in
that.
Cancun or something useless?
Well, if you win in the, you can't have two. If you win in the fall, you're considered the fall champ,
Yeah.
right? If you
There's
win-
2 Fuds a year.
Yeah.
There's
This is
the
BS.
spring one, the one that
So-
he didn't win, is way bigger.
Are you guys gonna have? Are you guys
got
gonna have the same team?
We should, yeah.
Okay, then. Well, it'll all be decided.
Then it'll be
on-
decided in the
Yeah,
fall.
Oh, you guys are lucky. I got a wedding.
Oh,
Oh, you guys are scoring. I'll let someone else win it.
Fuds is a fun one. Where does that stand on your all-time tournaments?
fun
Okay.
list.
That's
Fuds
fun.
is-
Number
yeah.
1.
Fuds is the
about
most
the daddy?
fun fun tournament I've ever played in. Better than the 6-man. Yeah, it's just a great atmosphere. Just you got the bars literally like 10 feet from center court.
That's sick.
Everyone's just
It's awesome.
partying and having a good time. A good crowd there. Yeah, and plus 4s is fun too.
Yeah.
So,
Especially when you're setting.
especially when you're setting.
Dude, I want to
That's why I
It's
like
the
it.
best.
Otherwise, if I would have had to hit, I just
It's a whole
I don't really
different
care.
weekend.
I
Yeah,
totally
it's a whole different weekend. I just set Taylor 2-ball and he just
Just
hits
tools.
high hands every single ball.
He loves hitting.
Oh my god.
He's ridiculous at it.
Perfect. I wouldn't mind jumping in on a little 4s, maybe McKibbins.
Yeah, McKibbins
eventually.
might be
We've been
doing
talking
something.
about throwing together the high 5, the Hawaii 5 with a sub, with one heckler.
The Hawaii 5-0.
If Madison and Riley can stand at this point.
Right, exactly.
Poor Matty, I feel bad. And Riley had the assist on his ACL.
Yeah,
that what it
got
was?
it cleaned up.
Ah.
It's a little slow recovery.
Tough.
But, I mean, this is not necessarily the year you want to do it, but it's one of the weak years, where
Yeah.
everyone's saving their injury points. All these people claiming injury are like, yeah, I would play, but I can save all my points
Right.
for when we have
A
I don't
full
know.
season.
which I don't even know what that means at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
What's a full season?
I know.
5 events?
Well, it's crazy to see, like, the men's side, the partner carousel is crazy now for Chicago. Like,
Has people been splitting up?
yeah, so many people are switching.
Wow.
And Evie was like, why are you switching now? It's like the end of the year. I'm like, well, for people who are just playing AVPs, this is a third of their year.
Dude, I saw
This is their whole year.
Troy Fields playing with Miles
Troy's
Evans,
with
right?
Miles.
But like, because we're training for FIVBs early in the year.
Yeah.
With no AVPs in sight. And Troy and Eric have been out there the entire time.
Yeah.
With like an all-star coaching staff.
Yeah.
So I'm like seeing them break up after 2. I'm like, dude, you put in
Yeah.
a lot of work to let it slide after 2.
Yeah.
If I was giving them advice.
Yeah. But I know that Troy and Miles are following up with 2 FIVBs right after Chicago.
Okay, yeah.
So-
and Troy did say he's finally
and
going
Miles
for
has enough
FIVB.
points to bring him in.
Yeah, okay.
Those some
I
1-stars.
get it.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then Baranik's with Avery now.
Okay.
I don't know where Piotr's going, but the trickle-down effect is
Piotr. Who's Piotr with this week?
Piotr was with Rafu, then he was with Miles Evans.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Who knows if the youngest team in America with Ricardo and Hyden are
Right.
going to run it back. So there's a lot of changes.
What
Yeah.
about Baumgren and K-Spear? They haven't won a match all year.
Really?
They barbecued both?
Barbecued both.
Ooh,
Oh,
Um,
tough one.
that's rough.
Sorry, Timmy.
I think they're signed up together, but on the women's side, there's some changes too. So it's crazy to see, like, it's literally a third of the season. It's like, well, I guess that kind of makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
you got to figure out something that works.
Yeah. That's another small draw too.
Yeah,
Oh, is it small?
16 teams, like Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
yeah, but there is one wild card for the Seaside winners.
So you
But
were
still
1 away.
4 through
Yeah,
You were in that final.
dude, in 4 days, me and Adam lost 2 qualifying matches.
Oh.
We lost the final in Seaside on Sunday, and then flew back and lost in the final qualifying round for Manhattan. It's like, oh, that's a gut punch.
What about Atlanta?
Atlanta,
Atlanta?
we lost second round.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that's right.
I was like, damn, at least Seaside we made pretty good money.
And that's a sick final to play in.
Oh, yeah,
probably, right?
Seaside's awesome. If Fuds is number 1, like, you would love Seaside.
the. Yeah.
Seaside's awesome.
I wouldn't mind getting up there one day, but
Yeah, we
it
got-
overlaps all the time, right?
Yeah, that was crazy that they overlapped a Seaside that was a qualifier with a qualifier.
Right. Well,
Didn't make any sense. A lot of things didn't make sense this year.
I know it
That's a
was
good
tough
point.
planning with COVID, but I know that a lot of the players were pretty pissed about that, like at the qualifier level, because they were like, well, this is going to be like the lightest qualifier ever for Seaside.
Yeah, and when there's a lack of opportunity,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously AVP, you talk to the guys and it's like they didn't have any choices either.
Yeah.
They also put it over the King of the Court events, which I just saw Wilco filming the stadium, and it was just the sickest.
Sick.
Yeah, King of the Court stadium out in Hamburg.
They were Hamburg last weekend,
Oh,
and then
yeah,
they're in
last
Utrecht
week.
this
Yeah,
upcoming
the
weekend.
Utrecht one looks sick. It's that like box, straight up walls.
Yeah.
It's like a gladiator stadium. So we're missing that too.
Yeah.
But that's kind of our sport right now.
It's just events everywhere.
Well, would it make sense if things started making sense?
Yeah.
That's what we were saying at the Olympics. We're like, as long as things keep going wrong, we're gonna feel fine.
Yeah.
We're all gonna freak out if something goes right.
Right.
All of a sudden.
Well, how was it playing with fans again? I mean, those stands were packed from 9 a.m.
Yeah.
first match, which like is usually
yeah.
pretty sparse and
Totally.
empty. It was
Yeah.
like line to the pier to get into
I
the
felt
stadium.
bad for the fans.
Yeah,
actually,
I wish
which
it
is
was a
great
bigger
problem.
venue, but you know, obviously COVID or whatever. But I mean, yeah, kudos to the fans for lining up, freaking like early and
Yeah.
staying in line just to get in,
Yeah.
which is pretty awesome. Just to know that, especially in Southern California, we're gonna have that that fan base. I think the best fan base there is, but.
Oh, for sure.
You know, hopefully we'll see next year what happens and where the stops are going to be. And yeah,
Dude, it's so
I'm
up in
excited.
the air now that it's Bally's because we don't know what their reach is.
Right.
Like, you know, we saw the P1440 event in Vegas. We're like, okay, well, I guess we're not going back to Vegas.
Yeah.
That seemed like it did not work out for anyone. But now it's Bally's.
Right.
Like the casino's back. They
Right.
have a plot of land probably, and
Yeah.
and then they're bringing in the betting and all that, which
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it's going to be a slow rollout. It's not going to be like next year, all in. Like this is
20 events.
This is the product. No, but like this is the product that we're going to have.
Yeah.
Like they're going to slow roll into turning it into whatever their actual vision is. You know, from what I heard, it seemed like more of like a 2 to 3 year plan
Yeah.
than a next year, like this is what it is.
Which makes sense. I mean, we saw 1440 come out of the gates so hot,
Yeah, that's
and then just like boop, candle went out. So I'd much rather like a slow roll. Let's figure this out.
right. Totally.
Yeah.
How are the fans in Atlanta? It was hard to tell on this stream.
They were hot.
Yeah.
The night matches looked fun.
Yeah, the night matches were awesome. I think that's what made the Atlanta event for sure.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it was the first time they charged general admission, which I think is a good idea. You have to just if you want to make more money, and I think every other sport does it. And I think it just depends on the fan base on like if Manhattan charged general admission, they would have made a shit ton of money.
kill it.
People would still come,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but I think being the first event back, plus COVID or whatever, some people are still, worried about it. That there wasn't as many fans as there could have been in Atlanta, but
For sure.
it was still a great setup, awesome setup. The night matches were sick.
we
Definitely
had-
looking forward to going back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty massive stadium in Atlanta.
Yeah,
And then it was burning hot, and they had AC. Like on the outer court, they had AC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like everyone was in one of the courts. You saw the court, right? You didn't go to the...
No, I was never at the main venue.
So one of the courts was the court, and then there's like maybe like 5-row bleachers on one side, baking in the sun.
Yeah.
And then there was a big like box tent with a Kona bar and chairs and everything inside a glass window. So we
Oh,
were
I
like
didn't
in
know
an
that.
aquarium.
Okay.
We were like the fish, and the people were inside like looking out. We could barely see through the glass because the reflection,
Yeah.
and it was packed in there. But like if you were watching on TV, you'd be like, wow, there's literally no one watching.
Yeah.
And like if you like squinted and looked through, you could see everyone in there like cheering and going crazy, but
Yeah.
you couldn't hear them or barely see them.
Right.
So like there was people there, but they were kind of hiding. Like on the middle court, there was a huge tent, so everyone was in the shade,
Right.
watching from there,
Okay.
and the stands were empty.
Yeah.
So it wasn't probably as bad as it looked. Like when you saw the night matches,
That looks awesome.
kind of a good. Granted, they only had one side people
Yeah.
in there, but yeah, first
That's
time.
that's all you need to show in the stream. You
Exactly.
show one packed side and it looks like it's a packed stand.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Now, Tracy, you've had a hell of a couple weeks.
sure.
Like, how's your emotion level right now? Because you went from like the crazy high low of like, oh, I'm going to the Olympics,
Yeah,
and then play super well in the Olympics, straight into winning Manhattan.
yeah. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's just weird. Like it's like, yep, checked off 2 enormous boxes on my list
Yeah.
that I've been going at for a while. But like I didn't do it exactly how I wanted for Olympics, you know. And it's weird because like Trev and I we put in the same amount of work, and then all of a sudden I'm going and he's not. It's like it doesn't make any sense. But then again, it's like I'm not gonna not claim it, like,
Right?
You know, you have to, and it's just weird all around. But then winning Manhattan was like I definitely felt an internal, just like release. Like I was enjoying that celebration,
Yeah.
thoroughly. And I didn't even like consciously know that I had that, just like tension. Like, God damn it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can relax now.
Yeah.
It's coming back where I'm like, no, I need Chicago.
Yeah.
Like we are not letting up. But I definitely, for the first time in a long time, have been like, wow, okay, I can hang my hat on this.
Right.
You know. But I don't know. I can't really comprehend it yet,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I bet it'll take a minute.
It's a trip.
What's the bucket list of volleyball goals looking like right now? So I mean, in your post-match interview with Dane, you immediately were like, "We just won Manhattan. Paris is close."
Mm-hmm.
So is it like, are you guys already like turning to Paris like right away?
I mean, obviously not right away, but you want to focus on what's at hand here, which is our goal was to win these AVPs.
Yeah.
And obviously now Chicago is our main goal. But I think we'll kind of figure it out, especially once we see like how the schedule pans out for next year with the new FIVB tour and everything. Yeah. But I mean, if everything goes as planned, I mean, the end of next year is when the first qualifying tournaments are usually, I think, right? The end of 2 years out, right?
Yeah.
So it could possibly be a first qualifying event, like a year from now.
Jeez, that's crazy to think about.
But I think next year it'd be nice to, especially with the revamp of the AVP, if they have, a lot more events, I think for sure try and, win as many of those as possible. Go to as many, like I'm not trying to skip that many AVPs if they're not FIB qualifying events, because there's going to be more money in the AVPs and less competition.
We just got to figure out how to stay in that top tier.
Yeah.
Right.
However that pans out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. Totally new system, so it's too early to tell right now with everything.
I'm trying not to think about that. Like, work so hard just to get to this point. Like, I'm not going to just move on to the next. Next 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, no, let's just
hang on to
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like, let's chill here for a while and just like, I mean, with how up and down and crazy this last quad's been, I'm like, I might be retired. Like I literally, I don't know what's gonna happen next year even. As far as I'm concerned, I'll be retired, living on a beach, a billionaire, because I sold my socks that I invented or something. I don't know. I'm open-minded.
Yeah.
But I just don't really want to go there yet. Even though it's like obvious, like I could say, like, I mean, of course, you see the stadium built in front of the Eiffel Tower over there. Come on. It's insane.
Yeah.
And it's only 3 years away, but yeah, just trying to stay here right now. And obviously Chicago's a big one, but enjoy the off season too.
Yeah.
play in a fun one. How many years have I been talking about?
You've been talking about it for a long time.
I got to book that flight. But I am saying I'm going to Myrtle.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun trip too.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
It's crazy to think, like, when you guys started this partnership, I feel like it was almost like you and John Mayer like weren't quite having the success you wanted, and you were like, "Hey man, like, you just want to have, like, speaking of fun ways, like, you just want to have some fun, play this tournament." Did either of you ever imagine that it would come to this, where like you were one of the best teams in the world, points wise you qualified for the Olympics, stupid country quotas kept you out, you just won Manhattan?
Yeah.
It's
No,
sick.
we were both not planning on it, I don't think. Right? Like initially.
No, yeah, I knew that, like, if we were both healthy and, you know, he was coming back from his absence with his disease thing, and I knew that, like, right away, we weren't going to be, like, you know, a top team. But I knew, like, if we were both healthy, then the potential was definitely there.
Yeah.
Eventually. But it definitely came faster than expected.
Yeah.
You know, we'd won, like, that 3-star right away. Then we freaking made the bronze medal match a point away from getting the bronze and the 4-star in Vegas, beating having to play the gold and silver Olympic medalists in the semis and the bronze game. It's like, yeah, it came way faster than expected, but now we kind of know that, you know, there's no ceiling to our, you know, our game right now, where we can still improve, and yeah.
Because if Trev wasn't like on a little bit of a dip, according to his standards, with Mayer at that time, he wouldn't have played with me, obviously.
Right.
And I was literally, like, I didn't know if I was going to play Manhattan, but I was like, if I could steal Trevor, I'll play Manhattan. Like, if I could get one of the top players. And then we're, like, in the car, and I was just, like, basically heckling. I'm like, dude, you guys aren't going, not doing so well, huh? I'm ready, dude. Doctor cleared me. Let's go. And he's like, And then, like, what? I don't know. Maybe a day later? I don't know. You took a second to think about it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'll do it. I was like, oh shit, he fell for it. Suck up. And then, yeah, like, we got better with the AVP. I mean, I thought we'd be good together because we're both good volleyball players.
Right.
So that's what I was like, yeah, I can do something with Trev for sure.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, we play the same side. We're both blocked. It just doesn't make sense. We don't play to each other's strengths.
Right.
And then we started winning, and we won 3 stars. Like, all right, well, we got to keep going from here. And then we did well in Vegas. Like, all right, well.
Yeah.
Now we're winning. Now we're number 1 in Olympic qualification.
Right.
So let's just keep.
You can't stop now.
And it's way more fun to travel the world with your friend. I mean,
Yeah.
not that, you know, I wasn't friends before, but
It's different.
He was like my dad almost.
Yeah.
My friend dad. But,
Uncle Johnny.
yeah. So yeah, it is kind of a trip how it kind of fell into place. Because if it was different timing, it wouldn't have worked out. Like, Trev would have been like, no, I'm gonna pick up whoever it is, like the right partner.
Yeah.
The smart choice, maybe at that time.
Yeah. Turned out to be the pretty smart choice.
Yeah.
It did, yeah.
Don't listen to your own.
Mayer's retired, and and now he's coaching teams to the finals, though. So.
Yeah. It's good. Both of his teams this weekend, Emily and Betsy, did great, which Betsy, 6 months out of pregnancy, is making Manhattan's finals.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That was wild.
So good for them.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then Andy has had 2 career best finishes in a row.
Billy's a steady guy, just still going at it.
Yeah.
Same,
Dude, you
he's
gotta-
like the same player from like 5 years ago when I was playing with him.
Totally. You gotta give credit to Andy though. Like, young PV kid, you know, SC whatever. He's played well, but he's never had like crazy success. Obviously, he's athletic and skilled. He was really skilled for a middle, but I was always like, I mean, anyone can play good when you're really talented, but like when you get under the pressure, can you do it? And he, you know, did it well, and he's been grinding. First of all, like flying to Florida, you can tell he's like he's a lifer.
Not flying. He drove.
Okay, driving even worse. Exactly,
Even
but like
worse.
you can tell the people that are really in it,
Yeah.
like are doing stuff like that, and then he handled against us like. Trev started getting in his face a little bit just to test him, and it was funny, like his soft. He brought some dialogue back, but it was very like passive.
Yeah.
Like, no, you suck, Trevor. That's not a quote, but like it was like, you know, younger guy on tour. He's not trying to open it up too much, but he kept balling. You know, he's playing well under the pressure. And then this week you see him like do that again. Obviously, you're in the freeze, that craziness, and it's like, okay, he made a statement for sure. These last two.
Yeah, and gave Casey and Chase a pretty good run.
Yeah,
it was like 22-20 in the second. I was wondering if there'd be another freeze comeback, but I guess.
Oh really?
I guess 42 serves against Hayden and Ricardo. He was out of them.
Yeah, that's rough.
And a long one with Jake and Tay.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Which to see you guys play Jake and Taylor in the quarterfinals was pretty wild. I was like, damn, this is too early for this match.
I know. It should have been the finals, but yeah, we got on them pretty fast, which was good because those guys are obviously a great team, and we had there's a little revenge from them beating us in Atlanta too. But I mean, yeah, we played really well, and there wasn't any way we were going to lose that.
Is you guys closing teams? You were talking about closing teams earlier, and Jake and Taylor is obviously a prime example. You guys were up 8-2 in Atlanta. Is that more of a mental or a physical thing? Because you guys obviously closed pretty well in Manhattan, whereas in Atlanta you kind of kept the door open for a little too long.
It's definitely not physical. It's not like our bodies fell apart.
Maybe you got like tight passing not where you wanted.
Right, like
right.
No, it's probably more, I mean, it depends what they're bringing that day. No, yeah.
Know? I think with that team, it's like we know each other so well that there's no lead big enough that you're comfortable with, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think even they had a lead against us in Manhattan in the second set, like 5-6-2 or something. So we know with that team, even Phil and Nick, like anybody can come back at any point in time, and we're not comfortable with any lead.
Yeah.
So that just makes it that much harder of a battle against those guys.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like whatever you learned in Atlanta paid off.
That's the key. Just learn.
Yeah.
And then now it's funny because each tournament is like there's a whole different narrative, right? That you're going into it with. Atlanta, okay, clean slate. Who's gonna win the first AVP? And then you learn a bunch. You're like, okay, we gave away all of our leads and went to 3 every match, which we shouldn't have. And then, okay, we've spent a whole week working on that. Apply it in Manhattan. It works. We win it. Now the narrative's completely different. Like, what do we work on this week in practice to get to that level? You're trying to maintain and, like, break down, I guess, your wins. You know, I don't know. That's why you have a coach.
Right.
And we'll get there. We haven't watched film or anything yet, but it is kind of interesting how you have to... Every tournament has such a different... And that's how it is in the World Tour, like, throughout an entire season. You're, like, changing things in your head just to, like, work for that tournament and where you're at versus your partner and your coach and where you are in season and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. We learned. Now you're on the pier.
You are.
You learn.
And we learned that Trevor should only go golfing in the off season.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Because I was getting so good this last offseason. He was scared I was going to come dip in on his high score.
I just wanted to go take Creams' money.
Oh, brutal.
Tough one. But hey, cheers. Manhattan champs.
Cheers,
it's awesome.
Boys.
Congrats, boys. Trev, I know you got a dinner date with A-Rob.
Your guy, your partner.
Your partner, bro.
I know.
Yeah, we're scheming.
Then we'll have to run the SANDCAST crew.
We'll have to run the SANDCAST crew.
Ooh, that could be a nice little exhibition match with some money on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it.
I'm not scared of it.
Maybe like a post-Chicago, pre-Myrtle.
Oh, yeah, a little exhibition match?
Yeah.
Charge
I'm in for that.
Entry?
Actually, no, it should be me. It should be me and you versus him and Adam.
That'd
to
be
get
fun.
him ready for Myrtle.
Oh, that's right. You guys need some Myrtle practice.
There we go.
Why are you dropping A-Rob? Yes. This guy.
You need to practice with your guy.
SANDCAST. Look at the sign. Bourne and Trevor Crabb.
We're
Jeez.
freaking cut this in half.
If you didn't have a wedding to go to this weekend, we could have been playing in King of the court.
Yeah, my whole right side of the body does not want to play.
Did they invite any of the U.S. guys?
They invited me and Adam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were going to go, but I was like, if we actually want to play well in Chicago, like, we can't go back to Europe just to come back. I was like, I'm done
That's
with
so
playing.
gnarly.
And you're like playing a different sport, basically.
Yeah.
You know, fully. I mean, not that it'd be a bad idea playing against the best in the world, but
Right. Like, it would have been, it was
Different
basically
ball.
weighing,
Yeah.
like, do I want to do successfully or have another experience? And I was like,
Right.
my cup is running over with experiences
Yeah.
right now, but we haven't played well in a while.
that's a good call.
Like, maybe we should try to win something.
That's
So
a
it
good
was
perspective.
awesome that Wilco invited us, but I was like, dude, I cannot get on one more plane to Europe.
Oh, dude,
right
I'm
now.
so glad I'm not going to Europe anymore. Or,
Veronica was like telling him, I think she was talking to us like, oh yeah, I haven't been to Europe, I really want to go. And Trevor's like, oh, I'm so sick of Europe. I don't want to. I'm like, dude, we're so spoiled. Like, oh, the last thing I want to do is walk around the beautiful European town and have coffee on the street.
We are.
And I'm like, yeah, me too. Like, free trip to Europe? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. It's a fun life.
Yeah.
Well, congrats again on the win. And Trev, let you get to dinner. Manhattan champs. Well done, boys.
thank you.
Thanks, homie.
Shoots.
Shoots.